Hey everyone, it's Divine here from Merch.com to bring you merchanting class number 11. Now this one is about merchanting high valued items, and in this class I'll talk about how to approach all the different items and which type of merchanting is best for them. I understand that a lot of you may already be familiar with this, but this class is meant for those who are not. Now in the next class I'll go more in depth with tips, my personal experience, and using the merch live graphs to aid you in merchanting these items. So let's get started with this class. You can divide these high-valued items into two groups, those that you can manually price check and those that you cannot price check because their limit is too low. Now the ones that you can manually price check have a limit of either 10 or 100 per 4 hours. These are items like Barrow sets, Furies, God Swords, Dragon Armor pieces, things like Pharaoh's Scepters or Staff of Light, Infinity Robes, Dragon Crossbows, and so on. Price checking any of these items works the same as doing so for a cheap item. You either already know how to do this, or you learned it in the very first class. Now I realize that if this is your first time, this may be scary to do. If you price check any of these items, it can cost you up to a few hundred K, leaving you wondering if you can even make that back. However, you have your buy and sell prices now, which are of course subject to change, but you have almost the entire limit left to make up for this loss and to turn it into a much bigger profit. In the example here I tested Dragon Blade buddies which cost me 60K. But after that I flipped 6 of them for 90K each, making me 540K, so 480K profit. Now the reason I sell higher here is simply because they stopped buying after those 6, indicating that I either got overcut or the prices rose. So I expected the second, and I put them in for sale higher, and they sold after a little while. Now with higher valued items it is much easier to buy and sell slightly below and above the prices that you checked, because there are less offers in a grand change and they can move more easily than an item with a high limit. Flipping these items is not much different from higher limit items either. The advantage is that there is a bit less chance to get over or undercut, as people do not continuously price check these either, like they do with cheaper items. And it's also more important here to check the graph of the item to ensure that you aren't taking a very big risk because they have been rising for a long time. Now do always make sure that the margin is worth doing for you. If you're only making 200K profit on a flip with like 50 mil put in, it just isn't worth your time and you should look into different items. Now items with a limit of 10 or 100 per 4 hours can also make fine investments, but more about that in a future class. Now at this point, really all you need to do is take the step and start trying. You should have enough knowledge at this point to flip these items and to quickly make back any losses you may take when it goes wrong. It's okay to take a loss and to make a mistake here and there. Everyone does it. You only learn from them, but just do not give up on trying when you don't get the results you want right away. As I explained in the past, simply don't put all of your wealth into one flip, and if it doesn't work, just try to sell off to break even or take a small loss. And then there are the items that you cannot price check yourself, which are very popular to merchant among players. Now to merchant these still, people have created friends chats where they share buy and sell prices. Now a warning here straight up, none of these chats tolerate any kind of talking about trends in the market or any off-topic talk. This means that they literally only accept price updates and price requests and nothing else. So if you talk about anything else, you're just going to end up getting kicked. Now these chats tend to have their own systems to display the prices, so you'll have to get used to each of them individually if you want to use them. Some of them will only state the latest update, which can be a buy or a sell price, and other chats give exact ranges, which leads to very small margins, lots of under and overcutters, and difficulty for the item to fluctuate much because everyone is flipping within that range that is being given. Now of course there are plenty of people who try to manipulate the market by giving false prices, and personally I suggest to never ever do this because it is not worth it, and the chances of people stating conflicting offers with yours is very high, and this will result in you getting kicked or even permanently banned from the chat, and your report will definitely be ignored, so it's just better to be honorable by only reporting the real prices. Right now the existing price check friend chats in-game are the following that I'm about to sum up. Now I have examples of their price checks in the image and the title of their status thread on the forums where you can read more about the chat, the market, and the latest prices. Now the easiest way to find these types of threads is by searching for the word status thread on the RuneScape official forums. You'll find more results than just these chats. Also status threads for screenshots from player reports, for stuff like the amount of bots in game, and there's a lot more. There are some really interesting ones, so definitely have a look at that. Now first off, there is Quark, which was the first price checking friends chat that existed, and it was previously known as Rare Quark. Now they price check all real and tradable discontinued items, so not the ones that Jagex added lately. This consists of party hats, the Christmas cracker, Halloween masks, Santa hat, Easter egg, pumpkin, disc of returning, and half full wine. Now it's great for all-around flipping and investing because their system keeps the market fluctuating. For items over max cash, they give a price range based on the latest reports of trades that were done on the streets. And for all items below max cash, they will state the price and add either an S or a B. Now S means that in the latest report, the person non-instant bought the item or they instantly sold it. S therefore indicates the low price of the item at that time. B means that in the latest report, the person non-instant sold the item or they instantly bought it. And B therefore indicates the high price of the item at that time, and that is really all you need to know here. So when you see a person who's currently managing the prices state that Easter egg is currently 80.3 S, it means that the latest reported low price is 80.3 mil, and that the high price is not determined right now. So you can buy at or slightly above that 80.3 mil, and then you can try to determine your own sell price, which can range from a few hundred K to a few million higher. The more unstable the market is, the bigger your margin can be. The order in which the prices are reported is also the same as the order I have arranged the images in. So you can see the edibles line there. It starts with Easter, then pumpkin, then disc, and then half full wine jug, and so on. Now for the party hats, you can see that the blue party hat and the Christmas cracker are not mentioned there because they're given ranges, and the same for the white party hat actually. They're given ranges because they're above max cash. Now you may be asking yourself, why would anyone sit in this chat to manage the prices for hours? Now the reason is because this will result in getting a rank in the chat. And now with a rank you can always get into the chat, which can give you a huge advantage during times when the market is unstable and there's a lot of money to be made. Now during these times the chat is often full with loads of people wanting to join, which can take you a long time to get in, or you may not even be able to get in at all. But when you have a rank it is always instantly, so that's why people do it. And yeah, next up is Nex and Esses. This chat price checks the 4 Spirit Shields and all Torva, Pernix and Virtus items, as well as the Zarit Bow. Now this chat has a bit of an overcomplicated system as their way to indicate the prices constantly varies. Sometimes they give ranges on an item, sometimes they use plus or a minus, or less than or more than a certain price. And it may be easy to read and understand, but there is little consistency. And if you see that the Zarit Bow is indicated as less than 113 mil, it kind of gives you the idea that it's dropping rather than showing that 113 mil is a high price right now. And the same goes with those Pernix pieces right there. It just kind of looks like everything is crashing. Now flipping Nex items has become a lot more difficult because of this chat, as there is a lot of over and undercutting here. And I personally advise you to short-term invest in these rather than flipping them, because flipping these items can lead to rather low profits and frustration, whereas short-term investments are more relaxed and more profitable in general. Now, next up is PC 101. They price check various items with a low limit. They do bandos, armadillo, and subjugation gear, including the armadillo crossbow, as well as ranger boots, Robin Hood hats, and those 3 God Wars necklaces from Saradomin. They give price ranges, which makes it a lot harder to flip outside of these ranges, and on top of that their limit makes them difficult to invest in, as well as they all have a limit of either 1 or 2 per 4 hours. I also highly recommend you to have a look at their forum topic because they use a lot of abbreviations and it may be difficult to follow if you do not know these, but you can read all about them on there. Then next up there is Drygor PCs. They price check all main and offhand Drygor weapons, so a total of 6 items. The order they use is Rapier, Longsword, Mace, and first they state the main hand weapons and then the offhand weapons. And all of these items have a limit of 1 per 4 hours. They're absolutely amazing for flipping, but due to the low limit, not that suitable for investments. Now since recently there is also Ascension PC, a chat that price checks the Ascension crossbows and the keys to get the pieces. And they use the same SNB system that our Quark uses. The keys are rather cheap and price checked in Ks rather than millions, and they have a limit of 100 per 4 hours, and the bows have a limit of 2. Now in the future it's expected that when the level 90 mage weapon or weapons come out, all level 90 weapons will be merged into one chat to prevent having too many chats, which are all slightly dead. Flipping these items can be quite alright, but be wary because they're still new at the point of making this video, so it's quite risky to do. Now some of you may be thinking, Divine, you didn't mention any chat for Third Age, which is because there isn't one. Third Age is meant for investments and inactive flips. It is rather slow and people like it this way and want to keep it this way. A price checking chat would only result in the margins on these items narrowing down a lot. So right now the people who merchant them are people who carefully watch their trends on the market and investigate the items properly. Now there is a forum topic for these items as well, which you can use as somewhat of a guideline for the current prices, but don't expect to be given prices when you ask for them, because there are a lot of people who do not want the prices to be shared and who will only troll you or give you false prices or spam a lot. Just be happy what you see is posted. Some people will sometimes share some prices, and that's really all you have to work with. Another warning about Third Age though, it is frequently being hoarded quite heavily, so it can rise and crash quite hard at times. Make sure you investigate properly before getting into these. Now to recap all of this, discontinued items are great for all-around flipping and investing. Next and SS items are nice for short-term investing, but not really for flipping. PC 101 is okay for flipping because of their low limit items, but not really great for investing. Drygor PCs is amazing for flipping because of the low limit items and their price checking system, but again not much for investing. Ascension PC is a bit difficult because the bows are still new and only crashing for now, and the keys get a lot of competition with their low price and high limit, kind of like Furies. And Third Age items can be great for inactive flipping and investing, but require a lot of investigation. Now that's it for this class. I hope that if you had no idea how to get started on these higher valued items yet, you do know how to do it now. The next class will be more advanced, so if you're eager to hear more, I hope you will be satisfied then. Good luck with merchanting these items, and I'll see you all again next time for the next class. Take care, guys.